Hi friend, it's Pat Sloan. I'm going to start off with some finishes. Who doesn't love a finish? A finish. Okay, so I've got the small mat that I did where this was an old, what did I say, like 3 years ago or something. The free pattern was the top and the spider web, and then I added the little pumpkin. Now I did, you can see here, I did those little, I don't know, I wouldn't call them snowflakes, but like, you know, little, I don't know what they are, spots. But I did them in the light because I thought that looked really nice, but now it looks like when you look at it from distance, it looks like there's nothing there. So it was a rookie mistake, When I did the first one, I should have taken a photo and seen what it looked like, to see what it looked like. Okay, but it's done, and I'm just gonna use it and enjoy it. The other thing is from the spooky box. She is done. The sweet little boo ghost. Oh, how cute. Now I'm envious because one of our friends took and put like the bee and then a ghost under it and a ghost under it to do a vertical. And it is so darling. I couldn't find the picture to show it, but it is so darling. And if I hadn't already had my quilted when I saw that, I would have switched mine to a vertical. That would have been so cute. But instead I'm going to put it on my coffee table and enjoy it. Yay! A finish, a finish. Here is where I put the mat, which I think is so darling. Just a nice little touch here in the corner with the pumpkins, and then we'll come around and the boo. Oh, it's so cute. So cute. Yeah, there she is. There she is, looking darling. And another view up to midnight moon. And that pattern was exclusive to the spooky box, which is why you really should buy them when they come out. But they sold out. All right, I did a little post on the community page showing what I was working on, and that the community page here at YouTube, and said, what am I working on? A lot of you guessed it. And so what is it? It is the summer baskets from Susan Aki's book. Look at this. Look at this beauty. Oh my goodness, I am so excited. I am keeping this for myself for quite a while and going to use it. I'm going to put it in my bedroom and use it. But here is the backing. And excuse me, I did the binding with the same fabric as the backing. I just cut off all of that. And I did it all. I trimmed it all, and I ended up with so much extra because I didn't measure. They were the extra backing pieces. I just cut it all up and made, so I have enough to do something else. So I just wrote future project because it's not assigned to anything. So maybe there'll be a scrappy blue quilt in my future one day that can work on. But look how pretty this turned out. I am just so excited. So that was what I did the other day, and I am really on a roll to try to get some bindings done. You can see that on the calendar because basically I put that on there for me because not all of you have bindings that need done, but you have other things that need done. So on the days on the calendar where it's got binding for me, you're going to pick something else. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I had something come in the mail. Let me just show you. This is from our friend Melissa in California. She sent me this cute card, and inside I have to read what it says. So it says awkward hug. Now she did have a few critters that she said she was hoping I could use because she already had them and she just hadn't got them out to me. And of course I will fit them in quilt number 3, but you know, don't be making any more, anybody, because the quilt's going to be big. Okay, look at this. Look how sweet this salamander is. Oh, and on the critter page, I will put all the links to everything. And then she also did, look how cute. They are so darling, so darling. And then she also had some extra parts that she sent along because she said they might work for the setting of the quilt. So I was like, I appreciate that. You just never know. You never know what's going to work. And she sent 2 wonderful, wonderful gifts for me and Mr. Greg, because this is a Jersey Mike's. Thank you so much. Thank you. He is overwhelmed by your generosity. I told him and he was like, oh my gosh, tell everybody thank you. So Mr. Greg says thank you. Anytime you think of him, he is quite overwhelmed with it, which is sweet, very sweet. All right, the other thing I'm working on is the 4-patch. Let me pop a picture up. So this is the fat quarter 4-patch, and I did some blocks. I cut all those, so I'm doing, because I'm using that bundle, that Isabel bundle that has half of a fat quarter in the bundle. So I've got 2 bundles, which means I have duplicates, you know, so I have to do 2 of each of these fabrics. So I've got 2 paisleys done and 2 of these navy blocks done. So I'm quite thrilled by that. And let me just show you. I started cutting more. So I've got another paisley, I've got the pink cut, I've got the flag fabric cut. Here you can see it, the flag fabric cut. In there, in that box, is the rest of the fabrics. I've got this red out here to do. So I am super excited. And the other thing I want to show you is this light that I got. Look at this. Look at this. They're called daylight. They're slimline lights. Look at that. And I'll show you, it's got multiple, you can go down like 3 levels and then off. And the arm, you can lock it so it doesn't swing, but you can swing it. So I have really enjoyed this. It comes way out to the end of the machine. So this is so fabulous. So fabulous. Now these blocks, I am sewing them while I'm sewing other things. That is the whole deal with these. So they're not the main project, but I have them on this board where I have all of the lights already cut, and then I'm just going to stack these, just, you know, stack them up. That way I can just pick them up and do the 9 patches and then sew the whole unit. And I was able to do all of these while I was working recently on the projects I was working on. So anything that I was doing, you know, sewing patchwork, I did parts of these and got 4 blocks done, which I thought I actually could have had another block cut. I had to do one of the aqua blocks to, you know, fill in. So it's like this time I'm cutting more of them, so I have enough of them cut. It's a super fast sew, very fun, shows off your fabric, and it's a free pattern from the Fat Quarter Shop, which is linked below in the description box again, in case you missed it the other day. Now let's talk about the Quilt Alliance for the month. This month it is my friend Bonnie Hunter's month, which also is her birthday month. So that was kind of cute. This is her block, and this is a quilt along for Quilt Alliance members to celebrate their 30th anniversary. 30 years of collecting the stories of quilt makers across the world, to document them, have the audio of people talking about their quilts, have the video of people talking about their quilts. So you can go to the Quilt Alliance and you can watch these. It is just so heartwarming and inspirational to hear about a quilt. It's usually one quilt by the maker. And so it is just a really, really fun, awesome documentation project. It's a not-for-profit, you know, group, and so they you know, rely on the donations of members and the subscriptions of members to keep their the organization going and to do all this good work. So there you go. If you can still join in. If you just joined the Quilt Alliance now, you can go get the prior blocks, and there'll be one for November and one for December. Let's talk about the Critter Quilt number 2 again, because it does need a border. I'm probably going to do that tomorrow, or do it, you know, off video and show you, but I'll be filming it to show. But I had it up on the wall and had a picture of it. So there is the center with all, you know, primarily green, but I want to fix this. I want to fix this because I don't like the visual that creates. It's just kind of odd. So what I'm going to do is either remove those 2 F-square triangles totally and just put a green strip, or I'm going to test them and see if I can rotate them out to the corner and make like a little frame, like a little like triangle frame at the top, and see what that looks like. Because it's kind of fun to leave in these little pieces. It's like a little discovery, a little scavenger hunt when people are looking at it. It's like, oh, look at that, you know. So I'm going to take these, I'm just going to unsew that and lay it so that we can see what it looks like. So one thing is, I think people get a little bit crazy about having to unsew something. I think unsewing is just one, ripping, whatever you want to call it, changing something is just part of the process. It's part of being a maker, because you can't make everything perfect the first time. It just is not realistic to think that you can. Maybe every so, like this is just not going to unsew very easily, is it? Nope, nope, nope. But it's unrealistic to think that, you will always be sewing everything 100% perfectly. So unsewing is just part of the process. Think of it as a little Zen moment. You get in here and just, get the job done. Okay, so that was not fast. And I always go like a little bit past the junction I need to be at. So this is, I need to take this whole green off, and I'm going to just go ahead and do the other side part first. And then I'll do the middle part and come back. So here the sides are freed. So you can see this is flapped. Here are the sides. And now I'll just take this long part off. So here it is, the chicken, and this is what was right at the top. And I mean, even just rotating it like this would just be, not exciting. So what I need to do is take out this middle seam. So here's what I did. Here's what we had, right? So I took the middle seam out, and then I'm just rotating these so that I've got these corners. So they're kind of like a picture frame, like the kind of corners. So I like that. That's what I was thinking. Like it would just still be able to leave them in there and have a little bit of whimsy, but it's not like attached to the chicken. It felt like it was sort of floating on the chicken. So, okay. So I will sew these two together and then sew this unit to the middle. And then after that, I will sew one half and then the other half like that. So it's sewed with the corners out, and now I will pin it to the chicken, and I will sew the chicken from this side so that I can see the intersections here. Well, actually it doesn't matter, they're straight across, so I can just sew it the easy way. Okay, yeah, see, those are not points. Do you see? They're not points, I forgot. So I will sew this right to the top. Be sure that you've taken these sides and pulled them down far enough so that you have something to work. Don't just take like 3 stitches and then you're trying to cram this piece here and you don't really have any working room. Take it down. It's not going to take you much to sew that seam back. So just take the seam back enough that you have plenty of working room to lay these two on top of each other. So now this part is sewn back to the top of the chicken with the thing up here. Always be careful you don't sew it the wrong way, and I have to undo it again. So now I'll just put one side on and then the other and be done. And voila, just a couple of minutes and it is switched around. It is so easy, and these little things like that just bug you and need to be changed, or actually, it takes less time to just get in there and do it than it does to complain about it. It really does. It is not fast. It does not take long. It's really quick. Okay, so that is good. The next thing that will be for that one is the border on it. Now we have to get the chicken. We have to get the witch's next block made, block number 2. So we're going to go to the other side of the table and do that. The Quilted Witch is a book by Lori Holt and the Fat Quarter Shop, which is this cute quilt here. And then I have a version without the witch, which is the Quilted Witch's Garden, where there'll be more pumpkins, couple leaves, and some blocks. And it'll be a little bit smaller than the quilt in the book. But until we get to the witch part, we're just following the book, and we are on block number 2, which is this one. Now at this point, I want to stop and tell you something, because I already went through and filmed all of this, making the block, and what I got done, it was a hot mess. The fabrics I picked were not working, and I just barreled on through. I made the block anyways. This is what it looks like. The Quilted Witch is a quilt book by Lori Holt and So Emma, the Fat Quarter Shop publication, and we are making this. You can make it with the witch, or if you want to do one that is in autumn, I have a layout without the witch, which is a tiny bit smaller quilt, and it has more pumpkins and leaves and blocks instead of where the witch area is. But at this point, we're not into that section yet. We're just sewing blocks. We are on the second block right here. Now at this point, the video was all filmed and showing you making the block, but that's not going to work out because the block when I was done was a white hot mess. It did not work out like I had hoped in my head. I thought it was going to be great, and it wasn't. This is what it looked like. And you can see that that plaid, this absolutely gorgeous plaid that I love, did nothing for the block. Zero. It was faded away, it blended in, there was all kinds of issues. So what I think I'm going to do is talk to you about this fabric collection and how I need to look at it from this point forward, because there's a lot more blocks and I need to think about it a little bit differently than I had planned. And since you've already seen me unsew a lot of things in this video, let me just show you the block. Here is what I ended up with. And I am in love with it. I'm so in love, but I had to pick out a few things, like this whole stack of stuff. I replaced the center star, I replaced these, and I replaced 4 of those oranges where the white was blending in so that it gave it enough contrast. But let's take a look now at the actual fabric and talk about how I need to look at it. What it turns out is in this particular fabric line, really half the line is dark and half the line is light. And in my brain, I was trying to make this over here. I was trying to make this a dark. And what happens is every time I will put them with a light, like here, let me just, like here, they kind of look good. They kind of look okay with, here's the one, they kind of look okay, but what happens is they're really not. They are, when you cut it up, they end up being too similar. They're both read light. And let me show you the first block again. The first block has these 2 fabrics, and holding these big chunks in my hand, they're like, yeah, cool, they look great. But when I cut down into 1.5 inch squares, finished, they're 2 inch, they were 1/2 finished, they just kind of blend away, like the turquoise, the aqua kind of blends into the cream. So if instead I had used some of the fabulous chocolate acorns, look at this, look how much it pops that aqua, so that now I actually see that aqua. It just, now it can add to the story of the quilt and look really fabulous. And so that's what I have to do. From this point forward, when I'm working with the blocks, I have to consider both of these as lights and these are my darks. Now one of the things is I bought some extras. Of course I bought my favorite, which I really probably don't need more of this, and I bought some, and I probably don't need more of the aqua. I don't need more of any of the aqua. And I also bought some more of the chocolate and the pumpkins and more aqua because I love it. But really what I should have probably gotten, now that I'm thinking about it, is more of these more tone on tones. So the things that read more solid, these guys, because they are my helpers. I did get there, and I did get these pumpkins, which are probably pretty good. So this is, out of all of these 5, I only bought more of that one. So I'll lean into that one a bit more, which is good. The blocks, they're not complicated. They're a lot of smaller blocks, a lot of blocks here, like you can just see like this. So mine won't have the witch, but I will have a lot of these smaller blocks. The background is kind of floaty. And what I'm going to need to do is, when I'm working with something like this block here, what I might have to do is the background might have to be aqua, all aqua, so that it doesn't really float like these. Mine might not kind of float on the background. Mine might have none of the background fabric in it for these smaller blocks. They might just have the aqua or the white instead. And that'll be fun. It'll be a different look and it'll be totally cool. And I like that idea. So there you go. This is what I ended up understanding about this fabric line is I basically have a lot of lights and then, you know, a lot of darks. And I have to work to the strength of that. So I'm going to be using some of these aquas like this one as a background fabric and then put like the orange or the brown with it like this, so that I get that high popping contrast and you can actually see the definition of the block like this one. And will I redo this one? I am heavily contemplating that. Yes, I am heavily. I cut these the correct side, so I am pretty sure I'm going to just rip this out and change it, because I'm only on block 2. And so right now is the time to get it set, get figured out what we're going to do, and then have fun with it going forward with a slightly different mindset. Plus, I found this in my stash, which is a ombre, so that it has darks, lights, and I'll link you to this. And I think that worked really well, and I'll probably pop that in for a few places. All right, my friend, there's a little lesson in maybe humility. Maybe not. It's just learning. It's a lesson in learning. Even though I've done this for many, many years, worked with collections for many, many years, I still learn something new, because you go in sometimes with a mindset of this is what the fabric is to you, but once it starts to be put in, cut down into smaller pieces and put into size with other things, it tells you a different story. It tells you, no, that's not it. So this is a bit long, but I hope that this is helpful, and I hope you enjoy making your block today. It's beautiful. And then all the rest of the blocks are simple. Okay, there we go. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.